Welcome back to All4C Learning, session 25 and 26. In this session, we are going to learn chemical properties of alkyl halides. So far in the previous session, we discussed types of chemical properties. Alkyl halides mainly participating in nucleophilic substitution reactions and elimination reactions. So far we discussed that how many types of nucleophilic substitution reactions are there and how many types of elimination reactions like SN1, SN2, SNI, SN2 prime. In elimination reactions E1, E2 and E1CB type of eliminations we discussed. Now we are going to apply the concepts what we learned there. Here we are going to apply in this case. So we are going to learn now chemical properties with various substrates of alkyl halides. So before going to that, have a look here. As we learned that carbocation stability, tertiary benzyl carbocation, here phenyl group is there, phenyl group containing carbon is benzylic carbon. This benzylic carbon is attached to three alkyl groups, hence we are calling this one is tertiary and benzylic. So tertiary benzylic carbocation, this one is secondary benzylic carbocation, this one is primary benzylic carbocation. Stability order we know well, tertiary benzylic is more than secondary benzylic, secondary benzylic is more than primary benzylic, that we know. And this one is a tertiary carbocation, it is not a benzylic, it is only tertiary carbocation. Secondary carbocation, methyl carbocation and vinyl carbocation, phenyl carbocation and methyl carbocation. Now tertiary carbocation is more stable than secondary carbocation. Secondary carbocation is more stable than primary, means ethyl carbocation. Ethyl carbocation is more stable than vinyl carbocation. Vinyl carbocation is more stable than phenyl carbocation. Phenyl carbocation is more stable than methyl carbocation. This is the stability order. Now allylic carbocation, if you observe, this one is allylic and tertiary. Tertiary and allyl. This one is secondary allylic. This one is primary allylic. So tertiary allyl carbocation is more stable than secondary allyl. Secondary allyl is more stable than primary allyl. Now if you combine all these, tertiary benzylic carbocation is more stable than secondary benzylic carbocation. Secondary benzylic carbocation is similarly nearly equal stability like tertiary butyl carbocation. Tertiary butyl carbocation is almost similar stability like secondary allylic carbocation. This is the order. So now tertiary benzylic, then secondary benzylic, then tertiary butyl, then secondary allyl, then primary allyl. This is the order of stability or reactivity of carbocations. Now it is very clear, nucleophilic substitution reactions of which SN1 reaction proceeds via formation of carbocation. So carbocation stability based on that we can predict how far we are going to get SN1 product and how far similarly we are going to get E1 product. So for SN1 means a nucleophilic substitution and for elimination both these carbocation stability must. Now let us see few properties of alkyl halides. First one, with aqueous KOH, alkyl halides upon reaction with KOH. There are two types of alkalis, aqueous and alcoholic. Aqueous medium, water medium. So here aqueous medium, it undergoes nucleophilic substitution reactions. These are SN reactions. We are getting alcohols. And KX. So the similar reaction we are expecting with moist silver oxide. Moist silver oxide, Ag2O, silver oxide, Ag2O upon dissolving in water, we are getting silver hydroxide. This silver hydroxide also functions similar to KOH or NaOH. Means silver oxide, moist silver oxide also gives the same reaction. Alkyl halide upon reaction with Ag2O, moist, then we are getting silver halide plus ROH. In all these reactions, X displaced by OH minus ion, X minus displaced by OH minus ion. So these are nucleophilic substitution reactions. In these nucleophilic substitution reactions, order of reactivity. So order of reactivity of alkyl halides, tertiary greater than, secondary greater than primary. Alkyl halides, tertiary alkyl halides, because of tertiary butyl carbocation is more stable than secondary than primary. Hence, order of reactivity of alkyl halides we can say tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary. Similarly, order of reactivity of alkyl halides for same alkyl group iodides Ri is greater than, Br is greater than, Cl is greater than Rf. As we learned earlier, fluorine is a poor leaving group and I minus is good leaving group. So order of reactivity of alkyl halides tertiary greater than, secondary greater than primary, and order of reactivity of alkyl iodides for same alkyl group, here iodides greater than, bromides greater than, chlorides greater than, fluorides. So order of reactivity like this. Hope you got that. Tertiary carbocation, how far it is more stable compared to benzyl secondary and tertiary benzylic. So you should understand the relation, interrelation between these carbocations. And let us see few more properties. Instead of this moist silver oxide, when we are using a dry silver oxide, so with dry silver oxide, alkyl halides upon reaction with dry silver oxide, instead of moist silver oxide, we are using dry silver oxide. 2 moles of alkyl halide upon reaction with 1 mole silver oxide, we are getting 2AgX plus ROR. ROR compounds are called ethers. So with dry silver oxide we are getting ether. Alkyl halides upon reaction with dry silver oxide we are getting ether, whereas moist silver oxide we are getting alcohols. Have a look here. Ethyl bromide upon reaction with Ag2O moist means this is nothing but silver hydroxide. So in silver hydroxide, Ag2O is nothing but AgOH. Here OH minus displaces Br minus, then we are getting C2H5OH and AgBr. Whenever you are writing this reaction, you need to think like this. So which mechanism it proceeds? Because of it is simple, it is substitution reaction, nucleophilic substitution reaction. So nucleophilic substitution reaction, whether it follows SN1 or SN2. So when you are getting such question, you need to think about first substrate. So substrate is primary na secondary, tertiary, which one? It is primary. Since it is primary, it proceeds via SN2 mechanism. Since it is primary, it proceeds via SN2 mechanism. Of course, I am going to consider here tertiary butyl bromide. So tertiary butyl bromide, it is very clear. Tertiary, this one is tertiary, and this one upon treatment with moist silver oxide means you are using water as solvent. Since water is solvent, obviously this one readily dissociates and forms more stable tertiary butyl carbocation. More stable tertiary butyl carbocation. So here later upon this carbocation OH minus attacks upon either of the direction, resultant we are getting tertiary butyl alcohol. So this overall reaction again nucleophilic substitution reaction, but in this nucleophilic substitution mechanism proceeds via formation of carbocation. Via formation of carbocation means it is very clear it is SN1 because you was maintained polar protic solvent water, and second one tertiary butyl carbocation readily forms tertiary butyl bromide readily forms tertiary butyl carbocation which is more stable. So it is very clear. With primary alkyl halide SN2, with tertiary alkyl halide SN1. Now question arises, how do you think regarding that secondary halide? With the secondary alkyl halide, which mechanism it proceeds? So whenever secondary halide has both possibilities, means it can proceed via SN1 or SN2, either of these two. But which mechanism it proceeds or it follows, that ultimately depending upon the remaining factors. Which solvent you are going to use? For example, I am supposed to use polar protic solvent. Then it better to proceed via formation of carbocation. In such a case, you have to say it follows SN1 mechanism. If we are using DMF or DMSO like that solvents, means polar aprotic solvents, in such a case it proceeds without formation of carbocation. So whenever a substrate has both possibilities SN1 and SN2, you need to think about the remaining factors. And similarly, what nucleophile we are going to use? So whenever SN reaction is there, their competent elimination reaction also there. So here along here even though tertiary butyl carbocation, there will be a formation of elimination product. Of course, here substitution is a major, elimination is a minor. You are getting always along with the substitution elimination product. Similarly, along with the elimination, substitution product, both you are going to get, but ultimately what we have to think, which one is major and which one is minor, that we are supposed to think. In case of secondary alkyl halide also same, what nucleophile you are going to use or what base you are going to use. If the one what we are using is good base, strong base, in such a case it leads elimination product as major and substitution product is minor. If you are using only solvent like methyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol, there is no particular base, obviously that solvent molecule prefers to act as only nucleophile. In such a case you are getting substitution product is major and elimination product is minor. Hope you got the point here. In which case which product we are going to get, that depending not only upon any single factor but also depends upon remaining factors if substrate is secondary alkyl halide. Now when we are using dry silver oxide you are getting ether, right? So instead of this one I am going to consider ethyl bromide CH3 CH2Br, ethyl bromide. This one upon reaction with sodium alkoxide NaOR. So in NaOR, Na plus and OR minus, here OR minus acts as a nucleophile, that OR minus displaces Br minus, then what we are getting CH3 CH2OR. So it is nothing but ether. That means the product what we are getting is ether. The same ether we got already with dry silver oxide. So alkyl halide upon heating with either silver oxide, dry silver oxide, not moist silver oxide. In case of moist silver oxide, what happened? You are getting alcohol product. So alkyl halide upon reaction with dry silver oxide or one more reagent is sodium alkoxide. Either of these two you are getting ether. But when you are using sodium alkoxide, here not only substitution, along with that elimination product also possible, because OR minus is a strong base, it is a conjugate of weak acid. OR minus is a strong base, it is conjugate of weak acid alcohol. So alcohol is weak acid, its conjugate is strong base. Being a strong base, it prefers to abstract proton. So which proton is going to abstract? With respect to leaving group, beta carbon consists proton. So this is the leaving group, this carbon is alpha, this carbon is beta. Then this base abstracts proton from here and proton from here. Then elimination also product. Elimination product also we are going to get, that elimination product is ethene or ethylene. Ethene or ethylene is the product along with that substitution. Now, okay, fine, sir. Let us assume that it proceeds substitution. In substitution, which mechanism it proceeds? SN1 or SN2? That substrate is simple ethyl bromide, which is primary. So being a primary substrate, it prefers SN2 mechanism. So OR minus attacks from rear side. Whatever we learned so far, that we need to apply while writing these reactions. Okay. So OR minus approaches. If the leaving group containing carbon is chiral, then you can identify Walden inversion, right or not? Inversion of product you can observe. So because of SN2, right? Okay, fine. If it is elimination, so regarding elimination product, okay, fine. If it is elimination, which elimination? E1 elimination or E2 elimination? Again, for E1 elimination, carbocation formation is must. But here carbocation formation do not take place. Why? Because of primary alkyl halide. So since primary alkyl halide, it is not able to form stable carbocation, hence there is no possibility for proceeding E1 mechanism. Then what happened here? Obviously E2 elimination only. There is no E1CB. Because of E1CB mechanism, you can notice in case of carbanion stabilize factor, means beta carbon must and should possess electron withdrawing group. Here beta carbon do not possess any electron withdrawing group. That's why there is no E1CB. So here, hope you got the clarity here. Wherever reaction we are writing, which reaction it is, SN or elimination, because alkyl halide proceeds preferably either of these two, nucleophilic substitution and elimination. Out of these two, again, which class it belongs to? SN1, SN2, SNI, or E1, E2, E1CB. Just like we need to verify always. Now, so here alkyl halide upon reaction with sodium alkoxide, we are getting ether is the product, and alkene means elimination product also possible, right? Out of these two, which one is major? So which one is a major means which substrate again you are using? Primary alkyl halide. Being primary alkyl halide, substitution product is a major. Substitution product is major. In case of tertiary butyl bromide, if you consider tertiary butyl bromide, upon reaction with sodium alkoxide, NaOR, then in this case what happened? This OR minus, strong nucleophile, strong base. Being a nucleophile, it has to approach opposite direction with respect to leaving group, but this carbon is tertiary carbon. Upon this, attacking upon this carbon is highly difficult, electrophilic carbon is highly difficult because of steric hindrance with respect to the 3 methyl groups. Since 3 alkyl groups which are strong hindered groups, that's why approaching of this OR minus towards electrophilic carbon is highly difficult. That's why SN2 is not possible. That is clear. So it is able to form stable carbocation. That's why SN1 is possible. So assume that first step here, tertiary butyl carbocation is formed. After formation of tertiary butyl carbocation, again there is a possibility. Is there any possibility to attack OR minus? So OR minus has to approach either of these directions. Ultimately you are getting substitution product if it happens. But since OR minus prefers to abstract a proton because of it is a strong base rather than a strong nucleophile. As we learned in the previous session, strong base seeks a proton but not any positive charge, and a strong nucleophile seeks a positive charge but not a proton. So here it acts as a strong base. Now it seeks a proton. So whenever it wants proton here, with respect to this positively charged carbon, these 3 carbons are called alpha carbons, and there are 9 alpha hydrogens. Each alpha carbon consists 3, like that 9 alpha hydrogens are there. These 9 alpha hydrogens are involving in hyperconjugation. That's why OH minus come and abstract a proton from here, and this electron goes back. Then we are getting product here is elimination product. So elimination product is this one. If a substitution, which product we are going to get here? CH3 taken thrice COR, ether substitution product. This one is a minor product and elimination product is a major product. So how do you say that? Elimination product is major, substitution product is minor. How do you know that? Because of substrate is tertiary. Because of substrate is tertiary, it preferably gives elimination product rather than substitution product. Whereas in earlier case, substrate is primary. Being a primary, it gives a substitution product as a major rather than elimination. So far we discussed formation of ether. So formation of ether, one more reaction also there, that what we called Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis is alkyl halide upon reaction with sodium alkoxide. Alkyl halide upon reaction with sodium alkoxide gives ether, ROR and NaX. The same we discussed. So with dry silver oxide or sodium alkoxide, you are getting the same product. So alkyl halide upon reaction with the sodium alkoxide, we are getting ether. This reaction is called Williamson synthesis. Williamson synthesis of ethers. Now, so Williamson synthesis of ethers, which mechanism it proceeds? Ionic mechanism. How? So Na plus and OR minus. Just now we discussed here. OR minus acts as a nucleophile. It displaces halide. If a substrate is a primary, then it gives substitution product as a major product, means ether product as a major product. And if substrate is tertiary, in such a case we are getting elimination product as a major product. Sir, what you are saying here? So far, whatever you discussed, based on that, we came to one conclusion here. So in Williamson synthesis, we cannot prepare tertiary butyl methyl ether. Is it so? Can't we prepare like that? We can prepare. But in order to prepare tertiary butyl methyl ether, what are the possible substrates? In previous session already we discussed. What are the possible substrates here? So let us see. First possibility is CH3, ONA plus CH3Br. This is first possibility. In this case, this one is alkoxide ion. This O minus can easily approach this alkyl group and Br has to leave away. That means if you consider sodium tertiary butoxide and ethyl bromide or methyl bromide, then substitution product SN product is major. SN product is major. Instead of that, you can prepare in another way. What is that? CH3ONA upon reaction with tertiary butyl bromide. In this case, is there any possibility? No way. Why? Because sodium methoxide, even though it is strong base, like potassium tertiary butoxide or sodium tertiary butoxide. This one also strong base, no doubt that one. But here there is no beta carbon and moreover less hindered carbon. Since less hindered carbon, there is no beta carbon. Here it gives only one possibility, that is substitution. Whereas in this case, methoxide ion is also strong base. And it prefers to attack upon adjacent carbon containing hydrogen. Because of it cannot approach halogen or leaving group containing carbon. It cannot approach halogen or leaving group containing carbon. In such a case, you are not supposed to get only substitution product, rather than elimination product is possible. So nucleophilic substitution reactions, aqueous KOH or aqueous NaOH. Similar to that, similar functioning with moist silver oxide. Moist silver oxide is nothing but AgOH. NaOH is metal hydroxide. AgOH also metal hydroxide. We are getting same properties, means we are getting same products, no doubt in that one. And similarly with dry silver oxide or sodium alkoxide, you are getting ethers. So in ethers formation also, again we have to take few precautions. Which alkyl halide we need to consider and which alkoxide we need to consider, that we have to take that precaution. Otherwise you are getting elimination product as major product rather than substitution product. So students, check out that what are the possible products during substitution and elimination of 2-bromo-3-methyl-butane. 2-bromo-3-methyl-butane. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2-bromo-3-methyl-butane. This is substrate. This one, upon reaction with, say, ethyl alcohol, what product we are going to get? Sodium ethoxide, what product you are going to get? These two. Means what are the possibilities? And is there any possible for formation of carbocation? Rearrangement is possible or not? How many elimination products you are going to get? How many substitution products you are going to get? That you need to verify once. And next one, this type of substitution also possible with sodium hydrogen sulfide. Have a look here, alkyl halide upon reaction with NaSH, sodium hydrogen sulfide, in this case SH minus acts as a nucleophile. Then we are getting products RSH plus NaX. This one is called thioalcohol. ROH, just like ROH alcohol, here it is RSH, thioalcohols. Similarly, Na instead of NaOH, also we can use KSH, whether NaSH or KSH. There is no difference in the functioning. Same, but the solvent is aqueous ethanolic. As we already discussed that why we are using aqueous ethanolic. In order to dissolve alkyl halide and both NaSH, both in the aqueous ethanolic. Now, instead of NaSH, if we are using H2S, H2S as a solvent, H2S hydrogen sulfide as solvent, in such a case we are getting thioethers RSR plus 2HX, 2 moles of alkyl halide upon reaction with H2S, we are getting RSR, thioethers and HX, That means either with NaSH or H2S, substitution takes place. In case of NaSH, SH minus is nucleophile. Again, which is SN1, SN2, that depends upon substrate. And H2S, this is what we call the solvolysis. By using solvent, bond breaking takes place. Let us take ethyl bromide CH3CH2Br. This one upon reaction with NaHS, what product you are getting? And this one upon treatment with H2S, what product you are getting? You try yourself. And instead of NaSH, if we are using Na2S ethyl bromide upon heating with sodium sulfide, nothing but sodium sulfide is salt of H2S. So hydrogen sulfide, salt only, sodium sulfide, and this one is first salt, means acidic salt of H2S, NaHS, and this one is Na2S. And this one upon treatment with ethyl bromide, we are getting C2H5, diethyl sulfide with Na2S. Similarly, we can also use NaSR. Here SR minus is nucleophile. Students, here NaHS, in this Na plus HS minus, here HS minus a nucleophile, here SR minus a nucleophile. So when HS minus a nucleophile, you are getting C2H5SH like that, C2H5SH like that. Just like RX upon reaction with NaSH, we are getting RSH, that is what we call thioalcohol. When we are using SH, thioalcohol, when we are using SR, then we are getting thioether. That means all these reactions are substitution reactions, like with NaSH or H2S or Na2S or NaSR. In all these reactions, substitution only preferably takes place, because S minus is good nucleophile rather than good base. Don't forget that. S minus is a good nucleophile rather than good base. So when we are using NaOR, what I said, ether formation, along with that, again if substrate is tertiary, elimination product is possible. But here I am not going to say any elimination product, because of SH minus is or SR minus is good nucleophile rather than good base. That's why here instead of elimination, substitution predominantly takes place. Substitution product is major product. Even though you considered tertiary alkyl halide, you may get more substitution when compared with NaOR. Their alkoxide, that is strong base, their elimination product is major, but here substitution product is major. Similarly, alkyl halides upon reaction with sodium cyanide or potassium cyanide, Na plus and Cn minus, Na plus and Cn minus, or K plus and Cn minus, we are getting RCN, alkyl cyanides, also called nitriles. Cyanides are nitriles. So alkyl halide upon reaction, upon heating with NaCN, solvent is aqueous ethanolic, means aqueous alcoholic solvent. We are getting substitution. So here we need to discuss a few things regarding Cn minus. As we discussed in the previous session, Cn minus is ambidentate nucleophile. Ambidentate nucleophile means the nucleophile which has two donor centers, but it is not possible to donate from both the donor centers. Even though it possesses two donor centers, it is able to donate lone pair of electron either of the two centers. Any one center only is able to donate. That means either carbon donor or nitrogen donor, but either of these two, but it is not possible both. Okay, fine. Now alkyl halide upon reaction with Cn minus, we are getting RCN nitriles as a major product, along with this RNC isonitriles. This is what we called isonitriles. Isonitriles are minor products. So NaCN being ionic compound, this readily dissociates as Na plus and Cn minus. Here with alkyl halide, either C or nitrogen, either of these two may donate electron pair. That means either carbon nucleophilic center or means electrophilic center, or nitrogen also likes electrophilic center. Because of in alkyl halide, halogen acquires negative charge, alkyl group acquires positive charge. Now this is electrophilic center. Either carbon likes electrophilic center or nitrogen likes electrophilic center, either of these two. Now In general, which bond is going to form? As I mentioned, these two. And I mentioned that cyanides or nitriles are major products, whereas isonitriles are minor products. Why cyanides are major products and isocyanides are minor products? You only mentioned that either of these two may participate in the reaction. If you observe here, there will be a formation of carbon-carbon bond. If this carbon is going to take part in the reaction, means substitution, then there will be new bond will be formed in between two carbon atoms. And if nitrogen is going to take part in the substitution, then nitrogen-carbon bond formation takes place. So, if carbon is participated, you are getting RCN. If nitrogen is participated, then you are getting RNC. Now, RCN, RNC, that is fine. If carbon is participated, RCN. If nitrogen is participated, RNC. But why this one is major? Since carbon-carbon bond is a strong bond. Since carbon-carbon bond is a strong bond. And carbon-nitrogen bond is a weak bond relatively. Obviously, strong bond if formed, more amount of energy liberated to us, then the formed product is more stable. If strong bond formed, then more amount of energy liberated to us. Ultimately, the product is more stable, means major product you are getting. Okay, fine, sir. So, how do you know that which bond is more strong and which bond is weak? So, you mentioned that carbon-carbon bond is strong, that's why that bond formation only takes place. Whereas nitrogen-carbon bond is weak relatively, that's why that bond formation is less. Okay, fine. How could we know that? So, in previous classes, we learned that hard and soft acid and base concept. Once you recall that, hard and soft acid and base. According to that principle, that what we call Pearson's principle, HACAB principle, Pearson's principle. According to HACAB, hard, soft, acid and base, Pearson's concept. Hard base prefers to combine with hard acid, then strong bond formation takes place. And soft acid prefers to combine with soft base. Hard acid prefers to combine with hard base. Soft acid prefers to combine with soft base. In such a case, the formed product is more stable. Okay. Now, acid is nothing but electron pair acceptor. Electron pair acceptor is nothing but electrophile. Base is nothing but electron pair donor. According to Lewis concept, acid is electron pair acceptor, base is electron pair donor. So, electron pair acceptor here we are calling electrophile, electron pair donors we are calling nucleophiles. Now, the same theory, if you convert into electrophilic and nucleophilic terminology, what do we have to say? Soft electrophile, if combined with a soft nucleophile, then the bond formed is strong bond. And hard electrophile, if combined with hard nucleophile, then the formed bond is weak bond, strong bond. If soft electrophile combined with a weak nucleophile, or if soft nucleophile combined with weak electrophile, in such a case the formed bond is weak bond. So now what I am saying here, since C minus is soft nucleophile, and here the C plus also soft electrophile, this soft nucleophile prefers to combine with soft electrophile, ultimately formed bond is strong bond. And this one is hard, C minus is soft nucleophile, N nitrogen containing lone pair. Of course, if this is negative charge involved in resonance, this one also gets negative charge. So here nitrogen is nothing but a hard nucleophile. This one is soft nucleophile, this one is hard nucleophile. Whereas this alkyl group is soft electrophile. So soft prefers to combine with soft. So resultant formed bond is strong bond. When hard combined with soft, in such a case we are getting not that much strong bond. So HACAB principle, Pearson's concept, it gives the information regarding stability of compounds. So you should learn which one is hard acid, which one is hard base, which one is soft acid and which one is soft base. That we already discussed in that lesson, particular acids and base lesson. So you have to revise that once, then you came to know which one is hard and which one is soft, like that. Now, if the same concept, alkyl halide upon reaction with AgCN, so we are getting the same. What happens, sir? Just like earlier we discussed with NaOH, what happened? Silver hydroxide also same thing happened, right? So just like that, with NaCN what happened? AgCN also same thing happened. Then the products are RC triple bond N and Rn triple bond C. So which one is major, which one is minor? Obviously, here you mentioned that cyanides are major products and isocyanides are minor products. Now, if the same thing here also repeated, then no need to discuss. But here, cyanides are nitriles are minor products and isocyanides are major products. Cyanides are minor products and isocyanides are major products. Sir, here you mentioned that nitriles are major, isonitriles are minor. But here you are mentioned that nitriles are minor and isonitriles are major. Why? Same thing. Here, AgCN, since in NaCN, Na plus Cn minus, carbon is attached to sodium metal. Sodium metal has a more metallic nature. Being more metallic nature, it has more tendency to lose electron. Ultimately, carbon gets a negative charge. That means Na and carbon. Sodium carbon bond readily going to break. And you are getting Na plus and C minus. But compared to the sodium metal 1A group, here copper, silver, gold are 2B group elements, 1B group elements. So being 1B group elements, less electropositive. What I mean to say, compared to 1A group elements, 1B group elements are less electropositive. In other words, compared to 1A group elements, 1B group elements are less metallic nature. Being less metallic nature, tendency to break this bond is very less. Tendency to break the AgC bond is very less. In such a case, what happens? AgC bond breaking tendency when less, then this carbon acquiring partial negative charge only, and without breaking this bond, it is not able to participate in bond formation with alkyl group of alkyl halide. In such a case, here nitrogen, its ready availability of lone pair instead of carbon participating in the bond, because carbon is not going to acquire complete negative charge. In such a case, nitrogen donates its lone pair of electron to carbon, electrophilic carbon of alkyl halide. Then what happened here? RNC and AgX. That means after nitrogen donate electron pair to alkyl group, then there will be a formation of bond in between nitrogen and alkyl group. Later, slowly AgC bond is going to break. Then we are getting RNC, means isonitriles are major product. So with NaCN, cyanides or nitriles are major product, whereas with AgCN, isonitriles are major product and cyanides are minor product. Cyanides are minor product. Simply, what is the reason for that? So NaCN more ionic, whereas AgCN is not that much ionic. And this one is a polar covalent bond. Ag carbon bond is polar covalent bond. Here C minus do not ionize readily. Hence we are getting major product isonitriles. Think what happened from these cyanides. Further reaction what happened? Let us see.